Hello, welcome to Truth Runs Deep podcast. I'm Terryn,
I'm Callie.
and we're here to talk about all things Law and Order, SVU, Law as long as Mothership. I'm a little sleepy, y'all. Sorry. Um, the Mothership, Orgasm eventually fanfic writing, and more. And
Yay!
we're back with another episode. I have stuff
Before we
literally everywhere, all over the place, and it's driving me crazy. So I'm trying to fix it.
before we get into the
Anyway,
episodes, because they were good, we gotta talk about some shows news.
yeah,
There was a birthday this week. The twins,
next week.
Charlotte and Vivian, and I believe it's just
I don't. I
Charlotte
can't remember
now.
which one. Can't remember. I can never remember
That
which one is the twin that plays
I think
Jesse.
it's just Charlotte. Um, Either way, Charlotte and Vivian, they're 10 now, which is mind blowing because we've literally seen the girls since they were like 5 or 6, and now they're growing up into little young ladies.
And, looks
Meaning
like you.
Amanda and Sunny are gonna be raising a little young lady, and I can't.
Yeah, which I feel like that kind of conversation is gonna be coming into the upcoming episode about
It is,
but we'll
yeah,
talk about the episode.
because
We'll talk about next week.
we know they filmed the scene, Peter and Charlotte of So Sunny and Jesse,
Jesse,
like,
they went
he
and
said it was
purchased
like
some.
going on a mission, and they're literally walking down the street. I'm like, I can't wait. Just give it to
They
me.
have some. They had purchased
Give
something.
me
We don't.
all the dad Carisi. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give
Yeah,
it to me.
they
Been
have
waiting for
purchased
him
something,
so
but we
long.
don't know what they have purchased.
Yeah, we don't know what it is, but we can't wait.
So that'll be next week. But we'll skip to next week when we get to next week. There's a lot of
Yes,
cool
so
stuff.
happy birthday to the girls. We did put a post out for them, and then I think their account's run by their mom. So the mom saw it. So we can add that to the list of multiple notices of we've been graciously given by the cast.
Mm-hmm.
Because we do it, we don't expect to get anything.
And I always
If
do it
we
just
get a notice, that's awesome. So we're really to any of you who, if any of the cast is somehow listening,
and you still are. I mean,
if you
we're
still
very
are there, we
grateful that you take
appreciate it.
time. We're very grateful that
We
you
appreciate it. And if you do, we are
wow.
definitely appreciative that you are willing to like notice and like and repost our little tweets because
Yeah.
we care about you all so much.
Mm-hmm.
And we have, I mean, we'll get to it, but we do have 2 birthdays coming up.
We do.
We got Roll and we got McCod literally
Yeah.
a day after each other.
Yeah, but yeah, it'll be well. We put our episodes out on Wednesday, and Will's birthday's on Thursday. So
And I know we usually advertise if the wonderful page that is Roll Esparza Updates is doing a birthday project.
they're doing
They're
something
doing
different.
something this year, but they're doing it differently, so we can't tell you what it is yet because we don't know what it is yet.
Yeah,
But there is
they will tell.
something that's going to happen.
I feel like they're gonna tell us soon. They're gonna do it because it's like literally next week. But
Yeah, literally. We can't wait to figure out what it is, but it's not like the usual like write a note, send it
yeah,
thing. So it'll be interesting
yeah.
to see what
So
it is. Also, Mariska basically said, I don't care if you don't like me. I'm going to endorse who I want to endorse.
yes,
And put out a badass
it's such a
moving
good video.
video endorsing Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty cool.
And
Go watch it.
it's really good, but also like how anybody thought she was going to go otherwise is
I don't
beyond
know.
me.
People
Because
get exactly
literally
what
one of the first things she said in the video is, if you know me, you know I fight for women and girls. I'm like,
exactly.
hey, so who else are you going to be voting for? So yes, now, I mean, it is officially official, and Mariska has always used her platform for good, and now she's using it for this too. And if you have a problem with it, you can walk away. She's not gonna
Exactly.
care.
No.
She's doing what she knows is and believes is right. So we love her for that.
What a queen. Love off queen.
Yes, exactly. She also just looked, official in the video. It was like
It felt very.
it was Mariska talking, but she had like the style clothes on that Olivia wears sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the perfect combination, the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Olivia is not to be messed with, and neither is Mariska. So yes. Okay. Yes, she endorses it. I think I don't know. We don't need to. We know who we're voting for, and that's all you need to know.
Yep.
Okay.
Make sure you're. I think I'll put it. I'll make sure there's still time to register to vote in certain states. So make sure you go do it, because even if your birthday, you can still register as long as your birthday is before November 5th. So go register to vote.
Yes, it's important. Do it.
Some states have some
Do it.
tricky laws about it, so make sure you read up on what your state says
Do
about it. So
it.
go register to vote. If you are registered to vote, make sure it's still valid, because some states are very tricky about that. So make sure you're still valid.
You guys need to check mine.
Yeah,
I think
pretty
I'm
much.
good.
I think you're pretty much good if you haven't changed your address. Typically, they send you, well, in Alabama anyway. They send you a postcard being like, "This is where you go vote. You're still
I gotta
registered."
figure out like when I'm going to vote because I usually work Tuesday mornings, so I gotta
Yeah, I'm
figure
off
out
work.
when I'm going to be able
My
to
boss
go.
was like, my boss was like, I have no reason to go. You are all off on election day, so I'm not working. Not
I
working.
doubt it. I don't know. I doubt we're close. Who knows?
Alabama does not have early voting, so I'll have to go on November 5th.
I will figure that out. Okay, anyway.
Some states, if you can maybe get early voting if you look into it, but I know Alabama no longer has early voting, so I have to.
Anyway. Oh, on that note, as slightly not Law and Order related, but we gotta talk about, I don't know if you guys have seen it in the news, but there was this 81-year-old woman, her name is Betty, I believe, and she voted for the first time
Oh yeah. She said she did it
ever
for the first time.
in an election because her husband would not let her. Well, her husband is now dead,
So she
and
went and
she
voted.
went to go vote.
Go.
Obviously, we can probably guarantee who she's freaking voting for, but like that's just crazy to me. It's like she's
Some of us
81.
have that.
Women have been allowed to vote since 1920, and this is the
Well,
first time she's
not
allowed to
necessarily
vote.
all women. Well, not all women are allowed to vote in
Sorry,
1920.
my bad.
But
You are
but
correct. Excuse me. I was
yeah, not
incorrect.
all women.
I
Not
had
only
stuff on the brain.
1965, African Americans are allowed to vote.
Okay,
And
so it's
even
been
now,
since
this is
1965.
side tangent note, because I looked a lot into this that is a lot of like, this is about how like people who are like an organization my job works with talks about how like if you are still allowed to vote if you are awaiting bail in prison
That's
or
awesome.
awaiting sentencing, you are still allowed to vote. So like they raise money to make sure that this organization that like raises money to make sure like they send those postcards out to those people awaiting sentence or trial or sentencing, that you're still allowed to vote. So you are convicted, you can vote.
Yeah, so this
So
woman literally could not
so
vote
go
because her
vote.
husband wouldn't let her, and then she finally voted. So pop off, queen. You go.
Go vote, please.
Go vote.
Your democracy is counting on it. Go vote.
Democracy and a whole lot more, honestly.
So
Okay.
go.
Anyway, I think that's enough of a little tirade for now.
Yeah.
Let's get into Law and Order.
Yes. So
The
there still
episode called it's
big
24-3 called Big Brother.
oh no, I got the sleepies. But if we're
And
at
it's like
three, if we're not looking, we're at four, but we're not. We're at three. But you
oh
know,
no, I thought it feels like I can't
it
believe
feels
it's
like we're
only the
longer
third
than it's
episode.
not. It's only three.
All right. So we knew this episode was going to be Riley centric and that we were going to get introduced to his brother. So
Yep.
let's dive into that. So, of course, the episode starts with the case as it usually does.
Yeah.
And it's this
Very
man
cool.
walking down the street, talking on the phone. He's
He's on.
talking about
Yeah.
new opportunity he has for work and then for his family. And then we see him look inside a bag and it has a crap ton of cash in it.
He literally has a backpack full of cash. It's like,
Literally pack full of cash. Scene changes and he's dead.
yep. Literally. You know how
Um,
Beyond Law and Order always be like that. Their mothership is always like this. Like, la la la. Whatever was happening, bam.
dead. Okay.
You're like,
Um, oh my god. Riley and Shaw arrive at the scene. They check his ID and they find out that he is a basketball coach at Hudson.
mm, mm,
I'm pretty sure they just use that school no matter what now.
yeah. It's
For
funny
once,
how
it
like
isn't
I
because
forgot
of
what
an
the actual they use a real college campus to film Hudson, but I forgot what they're. It's also something with an H, ironically. But the school that used to like be pretend Hudson, nothing good happens at Hudson. Like
no, but
nothing good.
for once, this isn't a sexual assault case
Yeah, for
involving
once,
the
the money.
school. It's a murder
If y'all
case.
haven't, there's a parody account on Twitter that's Hudson University. If you haven't followed them, they are so funny. Like those tweets are hilarious. So go look at that University page. They're so funny. Go
Um,
check them out.
yeah, so the guy's dead. They know he's the Hudson basketball men's basketball coach, and he had a watch that was stolen because they went to talk to the wife, and
Well,
she
I
was
think
already.
Jalen notices that like he has like a watch hand, so like he's had a watch on
Oh yeah,
for a
yeah.
long time.
Before while they're on their way to go talk to the wife, Riley gets a call that his brother is currently in a holding cell
Yeah,
because he broke the law.
yeah. He was. Well, I don't think they said what the reason was yet, but
Yeah, they go down, they find out he bought an illegal pew and he was
yeah,
also selling them and then got busted.
yeah. The coppers set him up. Well, it was one of like a sting operation, so they what he thought was not a cop was a cop. I guess he got busted.
Literally, we got the cop's brother. We got the cop brother and this.
Can
Cannot be
yeah.
more different.
Yeah.
Um, as they're driving to think talk to the wife, um, Riley tells Shaw that like it's not that his brother's like a bad person. Like, when his
Mhm.
dad got sick, their dad got sick, he really stepped up and took care of the dad. He just gets in trouble.
Yeah, with the law.
Um, okay. Then they go talk to the wife. The wife is devastated. They get some more details about the watch, but they also
Mm.
find out that um even though the husband coached at Hudson
He got a
University, he got an offer to coach basketball at in Kentucky. And if you're not aware, college sports is literally like a whole world in of itself. If you have like a good team, people are going to be invested,
yeah.
including gambling. The athletes get paid nationwide, like
Callie knows
televised
more about sports than I do,
games,
so she's gonna take on that
everything.
one.
So the fact that this guy wanted to leave the college meant that this fan base would be potentially losing all that.
Yeah, so people were
And so
not.
many people were very angry. They even went as far as death threats. Do not do that.
Yeah, don't do
I
that, okay?
love college sports. Do not. We don't need
Callie
to.
does love college sports.
I love college sports. I love any sports, but we don't need to threaten
Yeah,
anybody's life
yeah,
over a
don't do
game.
that. That's what how the FBI will be at your door. Don't do that.
Correct. So yeah, the wife was
They,
like,
they there's no. It's just a
"Everybody's
joke for the
pissed
FBI.
because
They will be at your door.
he's trying to do better for our family." Um, apparently, then the Walsh was the coach was arguing with an FBI agent over something. I don't remember what, but
Yeah,
they
they see the
watch
other
it
videos.
and they got more things to look at. And then they go talk to Walsh's boss and to see if like anybody would be upset. And he said that he recently let a player go and the dad wasn't thrilled. But
Yeah.
the kid was like, I don't blame him. I was invested in literally anything but basketball. He went on to be like endorsements, rapping, because that's how big college athletes are sometimes. They're almost pretty much like pros, just with less
Mhm.
experience, because
Mhm.
they are also getting the money and the endorsements and the payment and the fame. So the kid is
Yep.
very much invested in the fame, not the sport. So he understood why his coach let go of
Mhm.
him. So after that, they realize that he didn't do it. They go to talk to their sergeant, and Riley's like, "Can you believe how much these kids get paid? Like, these kids are getting paid millions of
Yeah.
dollars
College
to play
ball.
basketball." And we find out that the
I couldn't
lieutenant.
remember her name in the moment for some
Why did
reason, so that's why
I don't know.
I couldn't remember her name
I
at
was
the
like, it's
moment, and I put that
lieutenant.
as a placeholder.
We
It's
find
Lieutenant. I
out
could not remember anything at that moment. I was like, I just want to remember that she likes
Lieutenant
basketball too.
Brady is a basketball fan. She would go to all the St. John's games with her dad, which is another like big college. Um, yeah, college basketball
Mhm.
is humongous. There's a reason why the big tournament at the end of the season is called March Madness because
Mhm.
everybody goes crazy. Um, they got a tape. Cause and they see footage of the last guy who was with Walsh before he died. They pulled up the video and um Brady's like, okay, let's run facial rec. And
And
Riley's
he's like,
like,
you don't need to do that.
no need.
I know
That's
him.
my brother.
I know. So we, I know. Him.
No need to do that. That's my brother. Literally, they cannot be any different. Like the brother could not care less.
Literally.
And Riley's like this, like,
Felt the law. He's the
proper
officer. He's
law
the law,
person.
and he's the person breaking the law and the law.
Yeah, so we got Vince and then we got Riley. I mean, no, oh my god, that's her last
He
name.
is right.
Vince and Matt. Who's
Yeah.
older? Did they say?
I don't remember. Maybe he said it the first time he mentioned his brother in a different episode, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
I know like the episode is called Big Brother, but I feel
But
like
Big Brother can also influence work
be like
mean a lot of
people
things in this
watching you.
situation. Yeah, people watching you. That's trying to say the observer, the people watching you,
Yeah, because I have
so
a feeling he would be. I feel like Vince would be the older brother, but
I feel like he is the older brother, but
I think so.
they didn't make that quite clear. So
I don't know. We then find out. Uh, they talk to the brother, and they're like, we literally went to smoke cigarettes, and then he left. Like, I don't know how else to help you. Um, well, they were near like a bar, and this guy
yeah.
is friends with Matt, and so they go to talk
Mm-hmm.
to him, and of course he's lying through his teeth because he's like,
I
oh,
know.
I didn't see Walsh. Like, I quit
Well, like,
smoking.
you didn't know
So
you
I
did,
wasn't taking
bro.
a cigarette break. I was in the bar the whole night.
Mm-hmm.
They walk away, and Shaw's like, yeah, he's lying through his teeth. He's got a pack of cigarettes in his coat pocket.
And I was like, Buster.
Um, so basically, now they have a suspect who was lying. They got motive, or they need to find motive.
Yep.
Um, and so Riley makes a deal with his brother, And it's basically like, you help us get this guy, and
or drop the gun.
I will make your charge go away.
Mm-hmm.
So they send Matt in with a wire, or in this case, it was like a button on his jacket that the wire was
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And he goes to talk to Costa. And we find out that Walsh was bringing him money because one of Walsh's players owed Costa money from
Mm-hmm.
a sports gambling debt. That's another reason why college sports is like it can be
Yeah.
dangerous. People can
Amanda talks
literally
about it.
lose all their money
Yeah.
if it
Amanda
doesn't go
talked
away.
about that early on. When Amanda had her gambling problem. She did talk about a lot of the things she used to bet on frequently was sports games.
Yeah. So the coach didn't want his player to get involved anymore, so he said he was going to take the money and bring it to Costa. Well, they're talking. Costa gets a little bit suspicious.
Yeah,
And
he's a
Matt's
little
like, okay,
shaky.
you
Matt's a
can
little
look.
shaky, though.
Literally takes all of his stuff out of his pockets.
Like,
Costa's
I'm not wired up, y'all. And
like
they're like,
patting
bro.
him down, and then all of a sudden he just laughs. He's like, yeah, okay, you're fine. You got nothing. So he sits back down and he's literally about to tell him what happened with Walsh. And then all of a sudden the connection goes away.
And they're like,
So
bro.
Shaw and Riley are literally freaking out. Like, what just happened? What just happened? He comes out of the building. They're like, what did you do? He's like, oh, the button fell off.
And they're like, bro, that was a lot. They're like,
basically, he said he turned it off because he just changed his mind and he didn't want to be a snitch.
they're like, bro. Like, they're like, bro. Literally, like.
Oh my god. Like, and then he's like getting all in Vince's face, and Jalen pushes him back, and he's like, look, I'm not your brother, you feel me? In other words, Shaw's like, I will punch you.
I don't care. I
I
will
have
arrest
no
you. Will be
issue with
arrested.
that.
He's like, I have no problem arresting you either. So you know.
Yeah, true. I will punch you. I will arrest you. I got no issue with that. Don't mess with me. And
they kind of.
and then Riley's like, okay, but did he confess while you were in there? And Matt pretty much like, beats around the bush a bit until he's like, yeah. But they don't have it because he shut the thing off.
Yeah, so they don't have not admissible in court.
So they go back to the precinct, and the lieutenant is like, okay, what happened? And Vince is like, oh, there was some complications with the wire. And she's like, what kind of complications? And he keeps beating around the bush until eventually he's like, okay, my brother turned it off.
Turned it on.
And she's like, okay, well, next time lead with the truth and we'll get along better.
Exactly. So you don't be lying. She doesn't like that.
Oh, then they went to talk to the player who was gambling, and then once again they confirmed that the player owed Costa $75K. So the coach is going to bring it to him because he didn't want him involved anymore. Then we get a little thing of Shaw and Riley arguing because Shaw's like,
you can't be protecting your brother. You gotta
your
figure this out.
If he's like protecting a murderer, like we need to get this guy. And Vince is pretty much like, I'll figure it out. Like it's fine. And Shaw's like, your brother is part of the problem.
You can't keep enabling him. You have to.
They talk.
You gotta stop enabling
to
The only thing missing is a murder weapon, essentially. At the point now.
basically. they talk to the brother again. They get a little more information. They get enough for a search warrant. So they go down to the bar and look in his office and things. And Jalen finds like this fake door inside a
Yeah, the
drawer.
hidden compartment in the
He
filing
literally
cabinet.
pulls out a switchblade,
Curly.
lifts it up,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
There's the
finds
watch.
the watch and the money.
Yeah, like bro, you gotta hide that better.
Yeah,
If you're
literally,
gonna do
you
it,
had the watch. That means you did it.
it's a very specific watch. It's not just like any. It's like a fancy blue Rolex. Like it's
Yeah,
not just like
blue face
anybody's watch.
Rolex with like white like
Yeah, it's
line
a very pretty
thingy.
watch. It's a very bling, like expensive. Like only certain people got that money to buy that watch.
So they have that there. Then we switch back to the precinct. And Nolan is talking to Brady, like basically what's going on now.
What's holding us up here? You know.
Yeah. His phone rings and he says Jalen, and I thought it was funny because it's like there was an episode last season when they were literally at each other's throats, and now they're calling each
Yeah.
other by their first
That
names.
Very chilling.
Alrighty then, I guess we've all made up. Well, we find out the murder weapon was found in the trash by literally a young kid.
Yeah, a teenager.
He literally could not care less.
Yeah,
And
he's like,
then
yeah, I thought it was cool. And they're like, bro.
Jalen is like, I don't want to see you with a gun again, you hear me? And kid's like,
he's like, I thought it was cool. And he's like, okay.
no. He basically pushes. I love that. I do love that they're not like blaming the kid. They immediately just go to stay away from it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, don't do that. You don't want to ruin your life with this. Don't do it.
Okay, so we get to the trial.
It's a little closer to the end of the episode. The trial came a little later in the episode. It wasn't that long.
Damn motive. We just gotta put the pieces together. And the defense is like, okay, so pretty much what they just said is anybody could have done it because he was a traitor to the team. Well, then the wife is on the stand. And I don't think if they've ever shown this closely before, but they had Nolan put on a glove before he took the evidence out of the evidence bag.
That's something they don't take out the bag. It's like, yeah, you literally don't. The watch.
And they walk over to the wife and it's like, is this your husband's watch? And yeah, she's like, yes. And
defense is like, anybody can have that watch. It's not registered.
And then it literally goes into it's not registered, and there was negative DNA for her husband on the watch, which is now confusing. Also, we made a comment that Sam looked really nice in her blue pantsuit.
Yeah.
We comment
on
all the girls' outfits at this point. Just because
they didn't give her a lot of screen time in this episode already, so we had to make new.
We better get some next week, and we'll get into that in a few minutes. So I literally texted you. I was like, okay, he put on a gun. Oh my god, he put on a glove, and now I'm melting. Okay. Then they're like, the only one who knows he confessed to this crime is Matt.
Yeah.
So Vince is like, look, you testify and say exactly what you know, and I will get the charge to go away.
Literally, he had this one opportunity. He's like, all right, all you have to do is tell the truth. That's
like, this is your moment, and this is your last chance.
Yeah.
It's like, don't screw this up, or you're going to get arrested. So Matt is talking to Price, and Price is recording the testimony, and he's nonchalantly answering the questions, but all the questions that he's answering, all his answers are true. So Nolan is like, just answer those questions
Just like this.
exactly how you did right now. He gets up to leave and he looks at him and he says, "You're doing the right thing, Matt," and leaves. Then we transition to court.
Shows he lies.
He literally lies through his teeth. He's like, "I didn't say that. I don't know what happened."
I know what you're talking about. You're like,
Nope.
bro, you just told us. And he's like,
And no one's like, what? So luckily enough, he asked for a recess, and the judge is nice enough to grant it. He literally walks in the room. It's like, what are you doing?
Exactly. You're giving your chance and not going to jail away.
And yeah, and Vince is like, what are you doing? I thought you said you were going to testify. And he goes, guess I changed my mind.
Like, whoa.
Okay.
Like, just
Excuse
help
me.
you. This is to help you. And you're like, no, I don't want
it. Like, Nolan is like, oh, great. Now I gotta freaking think on
no
the fly.
witnesses.
You were literally the only witness I had. So, they went back, and he tells the judge that, the sworn testimonies that Matt gave him are contradicting his testimony in court. So, he asked to treat Matt as a hostile witness. And then he said he's like asking like what he said is something along the lines of impeachment instead of like what he actually said. I don't remember.
Yeah,
The judge is
if you lie, you
tread
some serious trouble
carefully.
about.
The judge is like tread carefully.
About.
And then, well, Bryce basically lays into Matt because he's like,
does. He's like,
you're willing to lie
killer walk free
for your friend, even if the consequences of that silence means the killer walks free.
No, he told him.
And Matt goes,
maybe that's the clip they use in the promo a lot. So like,
and Matt goes, yeah, I sure am. And he says it like more seriously. He's like, I sure am. And at this point, it's like, okay, they're screwed.
What else we got?
Well, apparently not, because he's found guilty still.
Exactly.
I feel like him saying, yeah, I'm gonna shut up was enough for the jury to be like, I think this guy did something.
Yeah, he did something already.
And then I was shocked, but also grateful, because then the wife was like,
she got her justice.
She got her justice. I was very upset she didn't. And then they got oh my god. Costa's shocked. Bryce is like definitely like he's glad justice is made, but it's like you can tell, like, I don't think he thought he was getting this either.
Yeah, it was looking around.
And he looks at Vince as he leaves, and then they kind of look at each other coldly. And Jalen looks at Vince and is like, look, you're a great cop and people respect you, but if Costa had been acquitted, basically, if Costa had been acquitted for what your brother did, it would have been a completely different story.
Yeah. Career over.
Yeah.
No one respected you.
Well, Vince then goes to visit his brother. And the brother's like, can we make this
I got
quick?
a lady over.
I got a lady friend over.
And
he's like, yeah, ladies, the one thing I'm good at. And Vince is like, yeah, okay, but we gotta go. And Matt's like, what do you mean?
To jail.
He's like, you're going to get arrested. And he's like, I thought the charge was going away. And Vince throws his words back at him and says, I guess I changed my mind. And the brother basically walks. He's like, the brother's like, come on, please, man. He's like, no, I can't keep covering for you. Literally almost cost me my job.
I was like, no more. You have to learn your lesson the hard way.
Yes. So the brother is now getting arrested. We don't know if we'll see him again, but that's how that ends. And I give this episode a 3.
Yeah. It was
Wasn't
alright.
great. Wasn't. I mean,
It was
they
alright.
feel like the previous two episodes were better than
Yeah, they kind of set the
this.
stage, and then this one came when I was like, eh.
You know,
Yeah,
it
the
was.
first two popped off. This one kind of you lit the
I
bar.
love
We set the bar high, all right, and then it kind of didn't set the bar high.
the actor who played Matt, Ryan Eagold. I've only ever seen him in like positive, happier roles. So to see him playing the brother, literally could not give a shit, was really cool. Because literally, the two brothers could not be more different.
Mm-hmm.
But they did do good on the casting
Yeah,
because they do look alike.
yeah, they got pretty close.
And Reed even put a picture of their first movie that him and Ryan ever did together, like years ago. Said they've known each other for a while, which I thought was cool. Next
Well,
week, on
Lord
the
did
other
get in
hand,
there. Next, Lord did
oh
get in there.
boy,
Oh boy, we they hit the politics. They hit the
very
politics
quickly,
train
they did
hard.
very
They took
quickly,
it to the extreme. All right, they took this
quite
issue to the
literally.
extreme quickly.
This,
So it's called. Hold on, I should have pulled up the clip because it has the YouTube channel has the description of the video. I can't
yeah,
I
I
can't
watched the
put it.
promo like 3 times. I was like, holy crap.
It says it's called The Meaning of Life, and it's when a pipe bomb rips through a brownstone. Sean Riley must determine in which of its inhabitants is it a controversial author of, or a fertility doctor was the target. Price and Maroon bring the murder charges against the suspect, even though the victim is still breathing.
So
Hmm.
basically, they say the case is that they got a serial bomber
Yeah,
going
literally, they're like, there's
after,
a serial.
literally. And
You
he's
know,
not just going after anybody. As Sam says, he's going after doctors who give women their reproductive rights.
yeah. So we're
Ripped
like,
from the
ooh,
headlines, plus a bunch of other things.
yeah, they put it to the extreme here in this issue, so this will be interesting.
And I mentioned earlier that the only one oh my god, Sam should get more screen time for this because quite literally, she's probably the only one that can comment on it.
I know, with a bunch of guys, they wouldn't quite understand this issue here.
And um Brady is there, yes, but she's probably not of childbearing age anymore.
Yeah,
Sam is the only one that is. So
yep,
I have a feeling it's literally gonna. I really hope she's like, okay, look, to Price and
I
Baxter,
got
look,
this.
I love you both, but shut up and listen. Because
Exactly.
she is quite literally the only one who has any valid reason to say anything about this. I do hope that, we've seen some iffy things in regards to Nolan sometimes, but I do hope he finally, is on the good side of things and he finally understands,
Yeah,
how stuff is for women because I feel like he tries to,
he
but
does.
he
He
also
tries, but sometimes it doesn't always happen, and then it's
tries
just
to,
very
but it
hard.
doesn't come across the right way.
Yeah, it's
So,
kind of like there's a couple episodes that represent. So maybe he actually,
yeah. So hopefully this is important because he says that the guy is dangerous, but hopefully he understands that this isn't just a guy trying to bomb
he's a specific targeted
anybody.
at a very specific issue.
He's literally doing it so that people will stop getting their reproductive rights.
Literally. So
So that's going to be fun. And I very
it's
much
called The
hope
Meaning
that
of Life. I guess I didn't. They chose we called it The Meaning of Life. So
literally they better let Sam speak in court or I'm gonna riot. Just say it.
mhm.
But unfortunately, the way I think about it, the jury is supposed to be like equal numbers of men and women, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
I think it's random. They try to, but it's usually random. I've
depending
never
on
been called for jury duty, so I can't confirm or deny. But
same, I don't know. Depending on the guy's points of views,
beliefs, that case could very much be.
yeah, beliefs, if Sam says it, they could probably just ignore it. If Nolan says it, they might actually listen because he's also a guy.
Yeah, so we will.
So I feel like they need to do an equal balance of both.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll be right back. I'm going to turn my camera off.
At the bottom. There you go. So this week they did a little switcheroo on us. And they switched the 2 episodes so that the one we thought was coming, which is I think Constricted, was supposed to be last week. They switched it with I think it's called Constricted. Yeah, next week it's called Constricted. We thought Constricted was supposed to be 3. And this episode, Divided Calm, was supposed to be 4.
Content 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, so they switched them. Well, I guess it didn't really matter plot. Sometimes I guess it doesn't really matter if they switch them because some episodes it doesn't really matter if they switch them or not because they didn't have any continuing. But it makes more sense actually that they switched it. I kind of like that they switched it actually. One, we got Kelly early too.
Carisi content 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
and we all cheer.
And some very interesting ideas. So this is so. If you don't want spoilers, this is your time to cover your ears. Okay,
legit.
Cover your ears real quick. If you don't want spoilers,
I've got a hell of a lot to say. So
you have a lot to say. We were last night. Was that last night? I guess it was last night. We were
yes,
earlier in the day.
Oh, your shirt.
I do have on my hold on.
Yeah, we got Rolivia. We
do.
Terryn has Amanda and I have Olivia. So we have we got all ready for the Rolivia action.
And I have a Rollins shirt too, but it wasn't time for that. I'll say that.
That will be next time. We'll get into that
next time. So this is your spoiler warning, all right? So
literally, you don't want to hear any of this because we have stuff about other episodes too.
Spoiler alert! This is your cover your ears. But
if you're staying,
so they were filming.
Thanks.
So I won't give this person because of reasons. I'm not going to talk about
it. We're just going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it, but we're not going to give this person credit because of reasons. We're not going to talk about it here. We've already discussed this idea of such in a different episode, but this is not we're not going to give this person credit. But they were watching the set, and apparently somebody's favorite plot line is coming true.
Seriously, they freaking said
a couple of months ago.
An interviewer asked a certain
Peter,
actor, "What?" Yeah, ask Peter.
What would you love to do
for Carisi to do for storyline? And he said something, and now it's fucking happening.
Literally. Okay, this is your final warning. Okay, I'm gonna say it. It's gonna be right now. So apparently, from the context clues, we don't know exactly the plot line of the episode, but it kind of gives me a theory about the current episode in this one. Well, apparently there's a hostage situation in a restaurant, and Carisi is one of the hostages in the restaurant. Because when we slip the clip, because there's a clip, the clip is him running out of the building and hugging Amanda, and that's kind of the clip that we saw. There's they have all the police tactical build vehicles and such. This is a big situation happening.
Not enough. There was an interview that Kelly did that came out yesterday, and she said, "Yeah, I was on set yesterday, and Peter made me cry, and I wasn't supposed to be crying."
She said it was a heavy scene was filmed, and we said, "Oh man,
no, we're not going to."
I guess we gotta get ready. Literally,
so if Kelly, a professional, is crying over Peter's acting, all of us fans aren't going to be okay.
Lay that on the floor. We'll see y'all next. And if they don't skip weeks, this should be November 21st. If they don't skip weeks, they shouldn't skip weeks.
Please don't.
Skip Thanksgiving. They'll skip Thanksgiving. That's the 28th is Thanksgiving, so they'll skip the next week, and then they'll do usually 2 in December. Then that's it in January.
To paraphrase what Peter said in the interview of what he wants is basically he's like, "Oh, it'd be interesting if Carisi got in a dangerous situation or maybe a hostage situation, and then Amanda would have to do what it takes to get her man."
I know. So
also the fact that literally Peter's like, "Yeah, no, he's her man." Yeah.
Yeah. So So we might have to go. We might have to go write a fic about it beforehand because that's what we do. We steal their plot lines and make it hope in case it falls apart. In case, yeah, we'll figure it out. We have some other fics in the works. Okay.
Carisi is not only going to be in this hostage situation, but he has to figure out how to get himself out, but other people out.
And he's not a cop anymore.
Outside, basically freaking out.
Yeah, because they got the vest on. They got all the vehicles. Like, this is big.
It will be interesting to see how she uses her sergeantship to do it, but, like, her husband is in there. The father of her children is in there.
Yeah.
You ain't have to think about it. Y'all.
No. And how, like, Carisi has to navigate this situation as he's not a cop anymore. He's been a cop for a while. He hasn't been a cop for a while. He hasn't been a cop in a while, but still.
He has to, like, channel his cop background.
I know, but, like, how do you get out of this situation?
And we know Amanda's not going to be calm, because the last time that Carisi got hurt, she threatened death.
Literally.
Quite literally threatened death. So, and that hug has literally been all over our timelines.
It's ingrained in
It's literally the deepest freaking hug. They literally cannot let go of each other, and we're not gonna. No, we're not gonna. We're not.
Yeah, she told Henry. She said
it hasn't even happened yet.
Because she told Henry, it'll be your last day on Earth, and we said. Okay.
And now they're hugging, and it's like, okay, good. I have my husband back, and I have my wife back, but like, Jesus Christ, can they stop having trauma?
No, because this is what the show. No,
Carisi really does need to. Now that I think about it, Carisi really does
need the least
therapy.
He does. He doesn't talk about his.
He doesn't. They just kind of.
It's very clear early on,
and then move on.
It's particularly, I think, in the early stages. Like. It kind of does this thing about, like, a thing that, like, a religion gets wrong about, like, you should go to therapy. Even if you are religious, you should go to therapy. So kind of, like, it takes more time to approach. Carisi approaches his, like, trauma in more of, like, I should go pray kind of situation instead of, like.
This situation is going to, like, change things, and he's going to realize maybe I do need to talk to somebody.
Yeah, we should talk to somebody. Because, it's traumatic.
And not just live, because he does talk to live about his problems. He needs to talk to
someone who he doesn't talk about like his family's very secretive. So like there's kind of there's a lot of like times he talks about like his family things and like everyone was like, we just didn't tell each other. So you like not talking about things with something his family clearly has done.
He's had a pew put to his forehead.
That episode, I think about that episode when we were thinking about this because like he kind of just like is like
like when you watch this, it's probably gonna trigger something.
Yeah, because like there's another time he's splattered with blood, but I can't. It's like in season 20 or something like that. But I haven't watched season 20 in a long time.
He's driving a victim.
Somewhere,
and then the part like literally gets them in a car accident, and the victim doesn't make it, and he was the one driving.
Yeah. I can't remember the episode, but I know there was one.
His niece has been assaulted.
Yeah.
His wife has been kidnapped.
Multiple. More than one. Nope. She's been charged.
He has all these childhood issues as well. Like this dude needs to.
He's bullied as a child.
He's got more than people think.
Yeah, the childhood bullying he talked about one time, because he's like, that's not a story. You're like, I was thrown through a window, And you're like, he's like, that wasn't a story.
No, that's that. She's like, Amanda was
he's
like,
talked about like,
wasn't a story, was it?
And he's like, no. And like how like he talked about how like his mom told her about her abortion that time, but didn't tell her dad.
That's true. God, he love him, but he needs help.
Then there's like that episode once again, the one where he's like trying to rescue a victim, and the man and he has a gun to his forehead, and he's like, Olivia saves him.
TikTok.
Olivia saves him, and she shoots the guy, but like he kind of just.
He's adorable. Oh, he's traumatized.
Yeah, like because he kind of like once Liv takes the guy down, he kind of just stares blankly, and he kind of starts twitching a little bit and mumbling. And she's like, "You're okay. You're okay."
Adorable / traumatized.
know, but like anyway, Carisi is more traumatized. So please, if they don't write it, we'll do it ourselves. All right?
Now that Amanda's like going places for her work and he's helping and he's raising the 3 kids,
Yeah.
somebody get him fucking help,
Please.
please.
You gotta please.
I
Stop.
mean, is
Please
it
make
like
sure this
the
happens.
end all be all, and we think like it's a major crisis that he needs help right now? No. After that situation, though, it might.
Yeah, it's gonna
Oh,
come up.
and
We're
he
gonna go
got
write it
stabbed in
ourselves
the
if
ear
anything.
by a serial killer.
Oh yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah, Carisi
Which is
brushes
when
everything
Amanda
off, which isn't
scored
a
death.
good thing.
So
Yeah. So
okay, so there's
anyway,
that.
so spoil. That's all the spoilers. So I don't know how long it took us to talk about that. Maybe like 5 minutes or so.
To the episode.
Because it links what we said. It links into the episode.
Yeah.
The why
Yeah.
I think
Now
this
we're
all goes
actually
together.
on the episode. And the
Divide
episode
and
is
conquer.
called Divide and Conquer. And it starts with this wedding. Oh my god, this couple is celebrating their 1 year wedding anniversary. And the husband is trying to cut
The cake.
frozen wedding cake.
You typically keep the top layer for the cake and you eat it on your 1 year anniversary. So the cake, is pretty frozen.
So he's trying to cut
They
it.
don't use those knives on my cake like that.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna put it in the dishwasher." And she's like,
Like,
"Can't put my knives
no.
in the dishwasher, it'll dull the
Yeah,
blade." Cute couple bantering.
yeah.
Then we switch to like, I don't know, this official fancy police
Yeah. They're
building.
having a police briefing of this case that's like going around.
And we see Amanda and Olivia meet in the hall. And Amanda says captain. And Olivia says sergeant. And then
And
they
I'm like,
hug.
yeah.
We get a hug. We get a hug already. Yay.
That's great. You're like, yeah.
She gets into like explaining like that she loves her
She's
job. She says that
yeah.
she's basically getting
It's
to
like
eavesdrop on the whole
eavesdrop on the
world,
whole world.
which it's been our headcanon for a while that Amanda is nosy, and now canon just proved it. So
And she gets to the whole everybody all across the world. She
yes.
loves
Um, we find out that Olivia put in the good word for her, so that's
yeah.
a reason
How
why she
she
was
got
able
this
to get this job. She said something along the lines, "I've missed my family with all the long hours, but I also missed who I was more." And it's like, wait, hold up.
It kind of contradicts like her previous statements of like
Unless
she wanted to be in.
I missed it and the long hours she was referring to as teaching.
I don't know. It can be interpreted.
But either way, she's happy again.
Mhm.
And then we see this new guy come in.
Mhm.
And Andrew introduces him. I was like, "Oh, I want you to meet my partner, Detective Corrigan." And then he goes to looks at Olivia and he's like, "Olivia, Captain Olivia Benson, right?" She's like,
Mhm.
"Have we met?"
Mhm.
He's like, "I'm in the NYPD intelligence unit." And she's like, "Ah, gotcha. You just
Mhm.
know."
Everybody knows
Um,
Lady Benson. Like everybody knows.
but yeah, literally. Even if you didn't like say intelligence unit, anybody who's anybody in the police force pretty much knows who she
Knows
is.
that. Yeah.
And then Olivia's like, "You got a new partner and everything." Like,
Mhm.
but Kelly commented like if an interviewer asked like if she knew anything about the guy that was playing her partner, and she's like, "I had to Google him. I hadn't seen any of his work, but we were from the same place in Georgia, so we got along just fine."
Mhm.
Which I love.
Mhm.
The actor is John Clarence Stewart. The character is Vince Corrigan. So now we have two Vinces. Now we have two Vinces in the Law and Order universe, apparently.
Mhm.
Um. So then we get to the police briefing, and this guy is like introducing things, and he's like, "Now I'm going to turn it to our newly appointed Sergeant Amanda Rollins." Literally, just happened, and then the
Yeah.
camera like turns a little, you see a smiling Amanda, and you see Olivia lifting her hands,
Mm,
wanting to
mm,
go clap for
yeah,
Amanda,
because that would have been
but
awkward. So she,
like you hear like a little clap, and then when she realized
yeah,
nobody else is doing it, she's just like
that's
she
but
wanted
she's
to
very
clap
proud.
for her friends so badly. And Curry's there too, and they both just look so proud. It was so fun.
Yeah, good times, good times.
We find out that they're investigating a crime gang, tourist gang from Albania.
Yep.
They are quick. They use a gun. They have masks and guns, and basically leave no mess. So there's no DNA. So the police can't get them.
They don't just have any kind of mask. They have like the industrial kind you wear when you like are dealing with chemicals and like a lot of paint. Like they are like
Gas masks.
serious. Yeah, essentially. Yeah. I wonder if they ever use that, but we don't know. But anyway,
Um. So then
it goes back to the couple.
the couple, they had some friends over. A
Some
few
of some
leave.
of them are leaving, but some of them leave, but not all of them.
Few stay, and they're all cleaning up after the party. Then the doorbell rings, and the husband's like, "Oh, so and so must have forgot something." Opens the
Like,
door and is
I would
immediately
have
met.
checked the doorbell or something.
Yeah, literally, dude,
I
look
wouldn't
through
have
your
opened the
damn
door
window.
immediately. Peep the peephole or something, you know. But
We
he
need to
doesn't do it.
preface this by saying that unfortunately, this opening scene is graphic.
Yeah, it's very graphic.
Um, Literally, the dude is opens the door and is immediately met with a weapon in his
A
hand.
very large one.
A very large one. The girls are
Very,
screaming. Then they tie everybody up in the kitchen.
yeah.
And they're basically asking the husband, James,
Where's the safe?
where's the
The
safe?
safe coming?
Where's the code? What's the code? He hesitates, so one of them shoots him in the knee.
Like, bro.
And then the wife is like, Nora, just give it. James is like, she's like, give him the code. So he does. And well, the three of them are literally trying to get literally what out of the hell is in the safe. Um,
One of the guys is still with
One
the
of them
people,
is
the
still
hospital.
watching the floor. And he does something, and it causes James to yell, "There's no need for that. Just take what you want."
You're like,
And it's like, oh shit.
mm-hmm.
There's a beat. He turns, looks at his wife, and says, "Oh, I will." And immediately
You're
tells
like,
the wife to take off her clothes.
yep. You're
And
like,
it's like,
she
that,
hesitates at first, and then she
it's like, shit, that's not what I meant when he's like, it's not what he meant when he said it. He meant money, not his wife.
because he's trying to
Um,
offer the money with everything. Like, bro, your jewelry. Like, what do you want?
well, she hesitates. So the guy steps on her husband's wound,
Yeah.
and the guy screams in pain and is basically like, do what he says.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guy goes back over to Nora, literally like putting the weapon to her head and like playing with her hair, and she literally has no other choice. She's pinned against the wall.
Yeah.
She has
So,
to
and she
undress.
takes her. Yep. And then it goes into the opening credits.
And I gotta agree because I saw a lot of comments. They're like, "Can we stop with the graphic openings?"
They're real
I agree.
graphic.
Like
It's a little
that
too
one,
intense, a little too early.
like that we didn't need all of that. Like you could have just said, "Take off your clothes," done the "take off your clothes" line, ended it there. We all would have understood what was going on. We don't
Yeah, it's a
need the
little,
whole
it's
thing.
very intense. It's
It's
very intense. It's
very
very,
intense. Literally afterwards, the two of us were texting each other and we're like, that hurt. Like,
yeah, it's
it
like,
literally was so intense. It felt real.
yeah, it's pretty intense. You
It
know,
was
sometimes
bad.
not.
I don't like, so yes, I agree with the people that are like, we don't need that intense one, that intense
Yeah, we
in
do it.
openings. And I agree.
Sometimes we
Because,
want to chill one. You know, it was chill at first, and then it wasn't. You know.
because I'm not gonna. Well, I mean, for some people it could be scarring, but it's enough for me not to want to watch the opening of the episode again because I can only handle that once.
It was a lot,
I
like
could barely handle it the first. Actually, I could barely handle it the first time. Well, then, all squad show up, and then Olivia's like, "What's happened?" And Olivia's like,
mhm,
"You got a break-in, attempted robbery,
yeah, yeah,
kidnapping, and a rape
yeah. All of it's all the
all
same.
at the same time." And then Amanda shows up, and they're like going through the details,
She
and
gets up the
Olivia's
car.
like, "Oh, it sounds like your guys." And she's like, "Yeah, but
Mhm.
they don't usually sexually assault anybody.
Yeah, that's not usually there.
That's not their MO. Usually it's get the money and leave." Well, unfortunately, we find out it got hell of a lot worse
Mhm.
because, oh, I forgot to mention that as the wife was undressing, the husband is literally, laying there with a gunshot wound and tied up. So all he can do is put his face into the rug. Well,
Yeah, but it's
unfortunately, the perp is sick and apparently didn't like
made them
that
watch.
and made all of them watch.
Yeah,
Her husband and her
yeah,
two best friends.
yeah.
Well, her
We're the
husband, her best
neighbors.
friend, and then her best friend's husband.
Yeah, they're neighbors.
Yeah. And literally,
Um,
they didn't know that at first. So they're like, okay, what happened to this, like, the woman
because
who
the
got
lady
raped?
comes out of the house next. The other lady walks over, and Nora's friend. Her name is
This little, and actually, no, like, this,
Valerie, I think.
the cop who, like, was first on the scene came over and he's like, explains to them, yeah, she was sexually assaulted, and her husband and her neighbors were in the room. And you can see
Yeah,
Olivia and Amanda go,
yeah, no,
oh, shit. Like, how sick do
it
you
was
have
the
to
real
be?
question. It's supposed to
Uh,
takes a lot of twists and turns, so we're just getting started. But
yeah. So the neighbors were like freaking out. They didn't know that they even had a safe, so they didn't really know what was going on.
and they're like, "Bro, I didn't know you had one.
And
We're
then
best
we
friends. I
had
didn't
to
know you
see
had this safe."
this. And then the best friend is talking to Olivia and is pretty much like, yeah, I just had to see my best friend get assaulted, but she doesn't want to report it.
Yeah,
Nothing.
and that's a problem because you can't make people do that.
And she's like, but I had to. And Olivia's like, you pretty much did the wrong thing. And then the best friend goes on, and it's like, it seems like he got off on making us watch. The husband, especially.
Yeah,
Great. So we got a psycho.
yeah, it's a real mess.
So they get to the hospital. James is in surgery. Nora's in the cafeteria, not wanting to think about it
Yeah,
at all. Amanda and Olivia are talking, and she's like, "Yeah, these might be my guys, but
they don't
they
usually do
don't
this.
assault people." And it's like, "Okay, good. So they're not totally heartless criminals.
They just don't do that.
They don't go that far. Good." And then well, then there's the discussion of they need Nora to do a kit so they can get DNA. And Amanda wants the DNA because she wants to get this game. And Olivia wants the DNA because she wants to get the rapist.
Yeah,
And then they like butt heads a little bit. And then Olivia
yeah,
goes,
because like,
okay, Sergeant. And it's like, no, stop fighting. Stop fighting.
yeah,
No.
like you want the same thing, but different parts of the same thing here.
But Callie said it was interesting to be able to do that with Mariska because usually they're on the same page, but now they're in different divisions and have like different
They have different
goals.
agendas
Like,
on what they're supposed to do, and sometimes they disagree.
um, oh, sorry, I said line wrong. She says, "Well, with all due respect, Sergeant." It's like, oh, oh, oh no. Well, so Olivia walks away. She goes to talk to Nora, and Nora's upset because the best friend told her when she didn't. She's like, "I promise." She made her promise not to, and Olivia's like, basically, I just want to help. And then Nora says, "I don't care what happens to me. I want my marriage to survive this." And it's like, ugh. And as if that wasn't already painful enough, she goes on and says, as she's like crying, "He made James watch my tough guy. He became a puddle."
Literally, it's like, ooh,
And she's like, "Please don't tell him I told you." That's how he reacted. And it's like, holy crap. And literally, this episode hurts. We then transition to Finn and Detective Corgan or Vince talking, and Vince is like, "I've like being in intelligence." He's like, "I've never seen anything like this." And Finn is even like, "Yeah, even for us, it's pretty cold."
and it's like, oh,
And it's like, "Oh, great." And he goes on to say, "Welcome to the cesspool of human depravity."
you know what?
Yep.
It's true. You see the worst of the worst here. They've seen a lot of stuff.
Really. They go talk to this like cop because she's like looking at the safe, and we find out that there's like this little camera in there. I mean, somebody was watching the Fletchers
Yeah,
beforehand so that they would know to like,
when they were,
when to go and when to get all the stuff. Um then it transitioned to the precinct, and people were worried that I also was worried that I didn't know if Carisi was going to be in this episode,
yeah, conflict of interest.
but I he is there, and he has scenes with Rollins, so we're good. And he literally his first thought they're talking. Olivia mentions the assault, and he's like, "A rape? Are you sure this is your crew, Rollins?" Two things. It's so cute that it still calls her Rollins. And two, aw, he knows her cases. He pays
Yeah, they probably
attention.
talked.
He's a good husband.
He's a good husband. He's the husband ever meant to strive to be. All right, for real.
Yes, literally. All men need to be better and be like Carisi. I was like, oh my god, he knows that she knows what she's doing. How cute. We then find out that James owes Jim owns like gym chains, like a chain of like workout gyms. That's how they got their money. We then find out that Nora did the kit. DNA was found in the kit, but hold on. I'm getting ahead. Yeah, we find out James owned gyms. Then Olivia and Amanda go to talk to Nora. They tell her that DNA was found in her kit, but it's not in the database. So they don't know who did it yet. And so she's basically like, I have to wait. And Olivia's like, we're going to get this person.
Yeah. Also, outfit check here. Liv has this really cute, like, green jacket and hoops. We have to do outfit check. Oh, it's a pretty good one here. The fit was fitting that.
I didn't.
Somebody got the picture somewhere, but then while you're looking for it,
Yeah,
Nora gets
I'm
a
trying to
call.
make sure I didn't miss something. Is this when she identifies them?
No, we're not there yet. I don't think. I don't think they're bound to that part. I think you're
Okay.
skipping. I think they talk about that later.
Well, and then Nora gets a phone call and literally makes her drop, and I'm like, please, please
Don't let him die. Don't let
please
him
don't let
die.
him
I was like,
die.
no, no. I was like,
Like,
no,
that's
no,
like the
please.
last thing we need right now. Well, luckily it's not that, but he has a blood clot. He's out of surgery in his knee. He had a blood clot,
Go
so
to
now
his heart.
he has
So
to
they
like
had to
rush
drain
down
the.
to the hospital and figure it out. This poor woman just got assaulted, and her
And then her
first
husband.
thought is, "I need to go check on my husband."
He literally, because the blood clot will kill you. It'll go straight to your heart. You are among dead. There's nothing they can do. So it's very important.
We then find out he got out of surgery, but he's unconscious and can't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, the guys do some more the squad does some more investigating. And they find like this picture of James's
On their
boss
line. Yeah.
with a real estate dude.
Yeah.
Um,
What was that? Is he real estate? He's some kind of
an
estate
appraiser. I know that because
appraiser.
my dad's a real estate appraiser.
Yeah. Look there.
Um,
I was
two
like, was it real
guys
estate? Right? I know there was.
like
We'll get to that
they
point later.
knew James's business stuff.
Yeah.
They also mentioned James had a weapon. Oh wait, and now I'm skipping ahead. Ignore that. They tried to.
They go look for this guy. They think they have found the
They
guy, and
they
they go in
finally
there
get like
and
they're like looking through the database of like basically the Albanians and being like, who would possibly do this? And then they find a guy who has multiple prior
mm,
sexual assault allegations, and then
mhm,
basically this it was the first time he did something like this. Most of his like things were like strippers, and well, one of his strippers apparently paid bail, so then he left
yeah,
and came here.
it's a whole storyline.
Yeah.
I really thought about, and when you talk about Albanians, I think about the arc in OC, and I was like, bro, we're
Oh,
gonna do this
literally.
again. And
Jesus
he's like,
Christ,
no, we're
they're
not.
all over the
We're not
place.
doing this. We're not doing that again. No, I
Well,
remember that arc.
then
Like,
to get to yeah, they're going to go find the guy.
but
And well,
he's disappeared.
we find his girlfriend
She's dead.
dead on the floor
Yeah.
and
There's blood on
uh
the sheets,
lots
so
of
he's
blood
wounded
on his
clearly.
sheets. And Amanda's like, "Oh my god, they tried to take him out.
Yeah.
His own team tried to kill him." To which, honestly, I don't blame them.
I said, you can't be
Like,
snitching on us. You can't be saying, you can't be giving the plans out, to get a plea deal.
yeah, like they're gonna give him a plea deal if he like talked, but
Probably. It probably
also
was what they were going to
I have a feeling they're also like, you deciding not to be able to keep it in your pants messed with our entire routine,
say.
and now
Literally.
we're screwed and risking getting caught. So now we're going to
Yeah.
end
The
you
witness
so we
box or the
don't.
crime box there, they said,
So yes, literally even bad guys are like, the three bad guys are like, no, you crossed the line.
and even they said, you risking the operation.
And then we literally find
This is the
out
one.
that
This is what you're talking about. Then they go see, and they bring the six pack in. That's what they call it.
they took one of James's guns and he cashed out half of his portfolio stocks last month
Yeah.
to give to his
And
boss.
you're like,
Of course, there's no record, which Amanda's like, well, that's inconveniently convenient. Um,
yeah. This is when they
then
identify.
this is when they go back to Nora and they show her like a six pack of like possible suspects. And
And she's like,
he,
Literal's
Amanda's
like,
like, I
focus on his
only
eyes, because that's all she
eyes.
saw. She's like, you
And
got
let
to
me
look at his eyes.
focus on that. She flips through. She skips the guy, looks at the next guy, goes back to the other guy, zooms in on his eyes, and he's like, "Yep, that's him." Um, they then asked her if she knew anything about the AR-15 in James's safe, and she's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I was punched on the
Random, he was like
streets
randomly punching. They're like,
out
bro,
of the
what?
blue, and James got really protective.
That's a big jump though. From like he could have just gotten like a little handgun or something. No, he was just the big
It
gun. You're
quite
like,
literally is the
bro,
big one. And then he went to he was also apparently getting his citizenship
what's a
in
question mark? Kind of
Europe.
illegal, but you know,
And then you
question mark on
mentioned
being illegal. So you know,
Curry's blazer, so cute with the pink. Yes,
she
so
has
good.
like a pink shirt on, and like her blazer is like navy and has like little pink stripes in it. I was like, man, that's a cute. That's a cute thing. I
You
kind
gotta
of got a
find me
blazer like
pictures.
that, but mine
I
is.
need to see it. I love all the cute blazers. Continue.
I kind of have a
Well,
blazer like that, but mine is green, blue, navy and green.
they can find out that James had bought 10 million in gold.
I'm like, bro, that's wild.
Oh, sorry, not a real estate appraiser, a gold appraiser, apparently.
Yeah,
My mistake.
yeah.
And
Make sure
appraiser
you're
for
legit.
it was the guy with his boss in the picture, and they literally did this a week before the robbery. So now everyone's like, did they
And they set
set
them up. Like,
this up to get the gold and the life insurance policy they just bought?
not life. It wasn't a life insurance policy. It was a policy on the gold.
Oh, I thought it was a life insurance.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
It's
anyway,
a
well they
policy
have
on
like
like if
they have
this
a
something happens to the
sheet
gold. Yeah.
with his signature on it, like confirming that they can do this. And James wakes up and they go to talk to
Because
him.
he's like, they sign papers for me all the time, you know. He's like, but
And I'm
that,
like, what?
that
He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then they show him, and they're like, is this your signature? No, it is not. But my boss sends things for me all the time. And then they're like, look, man, we just got to figure, and it's like, we just got to figure this out. And James immediately goes, you think I wanted to see her get raped right in front of me? And he goes, a man is supposed to provide for and protect his woman, and I failed at the most important one.
you know, say, ooh, angst.
Damn, this guy blames himself. Well, then we find out the appraiser is in the river.
Yeah, literally. You've got a bunch of bullet holes.
Bullet holes in the river. They need to go
I think the
tell.
guy says like he's got more holes than a colander. Like the detective from
Yeah,
intelligence. He's like,
literally.
bro, there's a lot
Finn
of bullet holes
and Vince have
in
to
the
go down to
river.
the morgue. They're like, Finn's like, do you usually have to look at this? And he's like, no, I'm in intelligence. We keep it clean. And then somebody decided to comment, not in Chicago. They sure as hell
No,
don't.
somebody be getting shot like every episode on that show for real.
Yeah, literally, not
No,
in Chicago, Peter. But apparently here it's fine.
intelligence is
So they
sweet.
look in the they look at the dead body, and that's when he's like, man, this guy has more bullet holes. This
So
guy
the
has more
colander.
holes than a colander.
So, oh, well, I guess we had
Um,
to line them mood a little bit.
and they go talk to James's boss. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
his name is Drake Maynard. I forgot to mention that. Um, so Carisi's there, and he's talking to his lawyer and Drake, and it's basically the lawyer's like, okay, what are we doing here? What do you want? And Carisi's like, you already have my patience. He can have murder one
Mm-hmm.
because the appraiser's dead.
Yeah,
Um, and well, then it goes on to be, unfortunately, the business manager
yeah.
literally set them up for this to happen to pay his debts.
You know, it's like,
And
bro,
they
that's
only,
crazy.
again, it was only supposed to be the robbery. The other guy just decided he wanted more.
Okay, and that wasn't supposed to happen.
And that
That
wasn't
wasn't the
supposed to
plan.
happen. That wasn't part of his plan. He just wanted the money. Well, now that happened. So now you go to jail for a really long time.
Yeah.
Um, and then James goes on to say that he feels bad because he said to uh told Nora to do what he wanted. And basically the couple is just like sad and tired and broken at this point. And they're looking at Olivia, and Nora's like, are we ever going to be okay again? it's like, yeah, that's a heavy question to ask. And Olivia says, I think the important thing is that you're both here together.
Yeah.
We then find out that a guy with wounds, lead wounds, had held
Yeah.
a doctor hostage to fix his wounds, and that is
That's the guy they're looking for.
Because it's like, yeah, if he's shot, he can't get very far.
Yeah.
She basically said I couldn't do much. Like, I gave him gauze, wrapped him up,
So
and then
some
he left.
painkillers and he did. Mom was like, bro, this lady seemed this doctor was real calm for this.
Yeah, I
Just
know,
to be
really. I feel like if I had like
yeah.
a guy like threaten me with a gun and be like, fix this, I'd be like,
And they're like, no, you were real calm for some reason. What just happened to you? Like, okay.
Well, they then find out he's like downtown, like a bar or something. And
Yeah.
we knew this was happening because Kelly mentioned it, but we get like a tiny little.
It was a clip. Somebody had pre-recorded this when they were filming. So somebody recorded it. So we kind of knew this.
Tiny little chase scene.
Yeah.
Olivia chasing, and I say tiny because they didn't do a whole lot of running.
No, they chased a little bit. I mean, they
chased a little bit, and then like sneaked through the crowds, and then the guy basically like
he tries. There's that balcony. He tries to. He's nowhere to go anymore.
Almost collapsed trying to get to the roof because he's literally bleeding out.
The wound is bleeding again.
They arrest him.
Bro, that's fine.
And my parents made a comment, and I wish they did this too, just as like a payback for stepping on the guy's gun wound. They like pretend they didn't know he got shot, and then they like
that would
in the chest and be like, "Oh, sorry."
It would have been funny, but it would have got things.
I wish they did that.
Yeah.
But they didn't. Well, anyway, he gets arrested. Then,
so it's like the next morning, I guess.
Yeah.
The daytime
Olivia gets a call from Nora's friend Valerie, and she's like, she's not okay. She's drinking heavily in a bar. She needs help.
It's not even like a good bar. It's like a dive bar. That's what they're like.
Yeah. And Olivia, and she goes to talk to her, and Valerie's like, she won't even look me in the eye. She's mad that I said anything. I don't get why she's acting like this. And Olivia goes, she was never sexually assaulted before. And it's like, oof, that hits hard. And she goes, it changes people. It changed you. And she's like, yeah, my husband and I are trying to forget about what we saw. And basically, Olivia said it's not about forgetting, it's about dealing with it. I don't really like that. I didn't really like that choice of words either, but I feel like it would be like you cope in regards to it, not just deal with it and be like, yeah, I had to watch my best friend get raped. Now what?
You gotta talk to somebody. Go to see some therapy. Talk to somebody.
Literally, Olivia is like, you all need to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And Nora, she goes to talk to Nora. And it's like, look, it's not that I didn't want justice. She wanted to spare them all the pain.
Yeah, or like,
okay. That sounds like somebody else, but anyway. And
Olivia says, that's not strength, that's avoidance.
That's avoidance. And it's like, oh, okay.
Okay, man.
And Olivia's like, I want you to promise me it doesn't have to be right now, but I want you to talk to your husband about how you felt and let him know that justice is possible. And Nora looks at her and is like, we got him. And then it all like hits her and she breaks down crying. It's like, well, finally finally over. We go back to the precinct and we find out the rest of the guys are now locked up in Rikers. Because as soon as they found out the other guys started saying things and they were offering a deal, they all folded really
Yeah.
quickly.
I said, man, easy peasy,
Um,
I guess. We wrapped it up.
but the thing is, Interpol wants him back. And
Yeah.
Amanda and Olivia are like, nuh-uh. We're
They
trying to
did
keep him
American.
here. New York
Carisi's also
crime.
trying to keep him here.
Yeah,
You
both of
staying
them are
here?
trying to keep him here. New York crime. Us first.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carisi's like, well, nothing like arraignment in a hospital bed.
Because Carisi says they're like they had to serve their term here, prison sentence here, and then serve it over there too. Like they're done. We
Yeah.
haven't gotten that far
And
yet. Sorry, I jumped in.
so they're gonna do arraignment. And then Amanda, I feel like this came out of nowhere because I literally squealed.
It's a good one.
Amanda literally dips her head and she smiles a bit and blushes and she's like, "There's the hardball ADA I married." There's the hardball ADA I married. Stop! Oh my god!
Carisi was like the law. We're doing it in the hospital if we got to.
Also, the fact that she's literally saying this in front of all her coworkers and not
everybody got to know.
She's like, "I am gonna compliment my husband in front of all of you, and I don't care." But oh my god, that is a comment on like his intelligence and his suaveness and everything. Like, oh, ma'am, if I ever thought we would get Amanda talking about Carisi like that ever, like years ago, I wouldn't believe you. So, like the fact that we have that, ugh.
Yes.
And then literally the transition to there's literally a hospital room for the
they brought the judge in. We're standing around the judge in his robe.
And like the defense is like, yeah, he like is sworn in. He's literally not having it. Carisi's standing there. It's not the first time Carisi has done arraignment in a hospital. Actually, the first time he did it was actually one of his first cases. I think it was for the it was the one based on. It was the Javon Brown case, the one in where the guy in the park, and then he got arrested. Yeah. He was actually the white guy, and then they had to. Oh wait, no, not that one. Not that one. It was the one where they were at Cat's boxing gym. And he is arraigning the like boxing coach, and then like a little while later, the guy dies. So, not the first time Carisi's had to do an arraignment in a hospital.
Yeah, but it's gonna bother me not knowing the title. We'll have to look at what the title
is. Yeah, you found the title. I just don't remember what it's called. I just know that details.
That was 20. 1 or 2.
So the current situation, the defense
redemption in her corner.
What?
Redemption in her corner.
Yeah, so that's the first time Carisi had to arraign somebody in a hospital room. And so back to the current case, the defense attorney's like, I want to make a deal. And Carisi's like, I'm listening. Well, they all go back to the precinct and we get that they all get 15 years for the robbery.
For each robbery.
Served concurrently. And then the guy gets 25 years for the assault.
Both for both charges, and the robbery and the assault concurrently.
No, and it's not just that assault, it's also the other
everyone that's ever happened. So for a long time.
They're gone. They're done.
So we'll talk about my theory in a moment.
Literally, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if they like literally just forget other people in the room.
They really do, like, bro.
They really do. Because then all of a sudden, Carisi looks down at Amanda, and he's like, "Can we go home now?" Dude. She's like, "I'll meet you there," but literally, he said it like almost slightly whiny. He's like, I don't want to be here anymore. Can I go home and be with my wife?
Exactly. Like you probably haven't seen her in a hot minute. You know, she's
Yeah,
busy.
like, please, like the case is over. I did my job. Can I go home and be with my wife now? And he has this like tiny little like tired pout on his face, and he's like, "Can we go home now?" Like, sir. And then the camera transitions to Finn and Olivia, and Finn's just like,
like, you know what they think they're getting. They're like, they know what they're doing when they're getting home tonight.
Well, then Olivia and Amanda go to talk to Nora and give her all the details. Maynard took a deal, so I don't think he was ending up in jail, but he lost all his clients and his wife.
Business, yeah, you know, he got nothing anymore, so he's done. He's done.
He done. And then she says, you know, hope can never be underestimated. Like, hold on to it. Because she, well, it goes on like multiple times in the episode to basically say the couple does not want to go back to that house ever. So they want to move, but Nora doesn't want to live in fear anymore.
They decide what they're gonna do exactly.
So they don't really know what they're doing. But I really don't. I don't know. I wouldn't go back to that house either. Again, Olivia
does not want to.
Hope cannot be underestimated. But then she also goes on to say, we cannot truly support another person until we deal with our own individual trauma.
Take
your own damn advice.
That's literally what it was like. Take your own advice.
Literally, she's saying it, literally putting the hand over her heart, and I'm like, do you hear yourself?
Do you hear yourself? You gotta.
Yeah.
Somebody made this tweet about
like,
it was like an EO tweet, but it kind of fit what we were talking fit in a different way. They said it'd been like 881 days since where Lindstrom tells Olivia she needs to find her happiness, and then I said it's been 881 days since we seen Raphael Barba, and I'm sick.
Literally, but sorry. I mean, Olivia's right. Nora needs to take care of herself before she tries to help take care of her husband.
Yep. They're gonna do something. And then
so Amanda and Olivia won. And then Amanda's like, well, that was an adventure. And they get the little back and forth, and then the episode literally ends with the two smiling at each other as they're walking down the street. And then end credits.
Yeah.
This episode gets a 4.5. I want to give it a 5, but I'm giving it a 4.5 because I don't like the graphic opening.
Well, graphic, but you know, story fantastic. The twists and turns fantastic. Kelly, fantastic.
Fantastic.
Literally, it's solid.
I love the I mentioned this person last time. Their Twitter handle is at Electric Toes, and they wrote last night, the way Sonny Carisi looks at his wife is the way we're all looking at her, which is very true. He looks at her like she's the best thing in the world, and every time Amanda's on screen, I'm just like, yay, I'm going to look at her no matter what. So next week,
it's called Constricted. A romantic date ends with a teenager fighting for her life in the hospital. Carisi can't help but bring this case home with him as he envisions the dangers ahead for his growing daughters.
So we mentioned that, and then we said that there's going to be like a Carisi Jesse scene, but literally, right now the girls are like 8 and 6. And the fact that he's already worried about them dating, like, this dude is meant to be a dad.
Yeah, he's very worried about, I feel, especially something like, we'll probably talk about this more next week, but like technology has changed since we were children.
Yeah.
So like access to the internet has changed.
Yeah, because they mentioned like in the promo, like something with the AI or whatever.
VR.
And here's the thing. It's true. And Carisi isn't going to always be able to like, handle or like, no, I wouldn't say handle, but like monitor what the girls are doing on technology. Which I think some people like theorize that maybe their mission is buying Jesse a phone, which
I don't
could
know.
tie into the
She did have a small item. She's
which could tie into the be like I'm like worried about my girls like going online. He's not gonna be able to monitor
yeah.
everything, but
They do make kid-friendly phones now, so like that
I
don't
feel like
allow children to do things not supposed to. But
he's not gonna be able to monitor anything, and that's going to worry him. But I also feel like the fact that, Jesse, Billy, and Nikki are being raised by Amanda and Sonny,
mhm.
like I feel like the kids will
They're
be
the
okay.
safest place. They're the
Literally.
safest people.
I think my only caveat with this episode is I wish we could have Kelly in it too, because I want
Mm.
Carisi to be like worried about the girls with
And
her.
they can talk about
We're
it.
probably going to be like with Olivia or something, which don't get me wrong, I love that too. But like I want him to be freaking about his daughters with his wife. In
Yeah.
front of his wife. Because yeah.
So
Ooh,
very
I guess
excited with them.
and then I just got an idea.
But I did get a thing in my head. There is this is that kind of like ties all this together. Is my little theory about like there is no way that gang is just 4 people. There's some people probably still in
Yeah,
Albania
they're
being
probably like,
like
oh, they all just got arrested now. We're done.
no, it's not gonna be that easy. They
It
let that
never
go
is
too
that
easy,
easy.
or they bring that back around. And I feel like
Yeah, and that Terryn theorizes it might have something to do with the hostage situation. Who knows?
good. Who knows? We got like a month to think about this, which will probably be an
Literally.
episode description in probably 2 weeks. So then we
So
just like
yeah,
really thinking.
SVU was great. Rollins is back, and she will be back again.
She
We
just
were
is
supposed to
filming
get like
currently, so
a
she'll be back for
handful.
8. She'll be back for 8. So
We
that
get
was
a
3, and then
handful
she'll
of
be back for
episodes
8.
with her this season, and they're already filming her second one. So yay!
Get ready, don't get ready, get ready.
I'm just waiting for them to like
We know
realize.
9 is very angsty, and 9 has some angst too, but we'll find out what that is soon, I guess.
Oh, is that the one where Olivia has to deal with trauma of the person close to her?
Yes.
Wait, are you
9
saying
only
we
angst.
we literally get hostage
They can give you
negotiation?
back to back. They give you back to
We
back
literally
things.
get
They give,
hostage
and that's
situation.
season finale. That'll be in December. So you have to wait from December to January for whatever happens in between. You're gonna be thinking
We
about it
get
for like 3
hostage
weeks.
situation and Olivia dealing with somebody getting
They
hurt
hit us
close
with the
to her
angst,
2 weeks in a
angst,
row. Oh
angst.
fuck.
Yep, that's all.
No. Yeah, this
I
one was
want
really
to. Yeah, too
good.
long.
I'm literally like just waiting for the day that they'll realize, I don't think a handful of episodes is enough.
Yeah, we'll see.
Let's bring her back. I'm waiting.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
see.
waiting. I'm hoping. But I mean, obviously, if it's because Kelly's mentioned, Kelly and Rule
She likes
basically
doing it
said
like this.
that, like coming back to SVU is literally like coming home.
Yeah, they
Um,
like to guest star.
yes. So please, you don't even literally. It doesn't even have to be um a regular spot. Have her do what Kevin did last season and have her be recurring.
They could. I guess it depends on the whole thing, but we'll see.
Also, Found was amazing. It's finally
That was
getting
good.
like to the turning point. We have decided to, for one of our
My little
projects,
crossover.
we're
My
doing a
little
little
SVU fan
crossover
crossover.
of Found and SVU with, hints of organized crime because we like those people too.
So
So that
we're
will be
working on that.
fun.
You have some other
Um,
fics that are also in the background. It's like
yeah,
we should probably post these because these are really good. We haven't done it
yeah,
yet.
we'll get something released to you guys soon. Don't know when, but soon.
We'll put some out there.
I think
And that's
that's
all we
it.
got. Yeah.
I need to go rest because I've been talking for way too long and now my throat
Yeah.
hurts.
We're gonna take a little writing break, write some stuff. Hopefully we'll put some out. There literally is stuff that could be put out like today, and we just haven't like separated by chapter. That's the only problem with a lot of things. That we have like stuff. But that'll be fun.
Thanks for
We will see
listening.
you all. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. I'm sorry, y'all. There's not a YouTube video because I kind of forgot I'm making. We gotta restock the YouTube catalog here.
Oh,
I we gotta restock the YouTube catalog next week. I forgot to post a video, but I'll post another video that we filmed. We have one more video I gotta post that we filmed. So we'll put out a video. It's
bye.
yeah, it is. It'll be it's the video on entitled people. I'm the main character, so it'll be funny. I hope you enjoy. That's all.
And well, that's it for the
Okay.
Truth Runs Deep. So thank you for
Don't forget to
listening.
like and subscribe.
Bye bye.
Like and subscribe. Tell us what you think. That's all. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.